Okay, this is the second video in a sequence of 3 regarding online divorce lawyer service for California divorce lawyers. In the first video, we touched on the big idea behind online divorce lawyer. So do go back to that first video and check into that at the very top of the first video. Lawyers also want to know what are the component parts of online divorce lawyer service. So please pause this video right here, read what's on the screen, and then when you're done, restart the video. Okay, thank you. We'll go now to the top page of the online divorce lawyer website. This is intended, of course, for divorce consumers. They would come here as a result of our search engine optimization. If they click here or here, they'll go to a online divorce lawyer locator and punch in their zip code, which will give them a list of the closest online divorce lawyers to their location, complete with map and directions on how to get there. Or they may additionally complete this form. If the zip code they enter here is close enough to you, you will receive the contents of this form via email within just seconds of the consumer hitting the send button. Scrolling down, we see a comparison table. Again, this is for the divorce consumer to compare the various values available either in hiring an out-of-state, unlicensed online divorce mill or by hiring a local online divorce lawyer who uses the same wicked cool software that the online divorce mill uses. The inescapable argument of per using this table is that far and away the better value is the local online divorce lawyer. Okay, at the bottom of the page, I'm going to click on the lawyers link, which of course will take us to the lawyers page of online divorce lawyer. Come back at your leisure and read the big idea. Here is another comparison table, this time for lawyers, to compare the 3 levels of ODL service, which are detailed here. So definitely come back and take a look at that. Let's scroll down to the bottom. That's me. If you want to read about me, come back and do that here. Right now I want to point out that we have created 2 sandbox accounts. These are live fake accounts, not accounts of real people, of course, where you can go and log in using this information here and play around in those accounts. You can change data, you can enter data, you can download documents, you can get a real good idea of how the ODL service works. In the first video we concentrated on basic level. Today we're going to concentrate on the pro level, and to do that we'll go to the landing page of a pro level online divorce lawyer. Robert I. Powell is not a real lawyer. He's an old friend of mine, and he's consented to the use of his name for these demonstration purposes. What relationship excuse me, what relationship does this landing page bear to your firm's main website? Well, if you click on either the Home tab or the Robert I. Powell logo, you'll go to his main law firm website, which of course he doesn't have. So if you clicked on either of those links on your own ODL landing page, you would come to your firm's main website. We try to make your landing page have the same look and feel as your firm's main website. So we would use, for example, your photo, your blurb, your name, address, and phone number, the coloration we would try to match as much as possible. There's a built-in contact form for clients to get a hold of you. And if they click on the login, they are directed to the client login portal. You'll notice that everything at pro level is white label. This is fully customized to your brand, your logo, your firm name, your phone number. So let's go ahead and log in. If I can remember what the password is. This brings you to the welcome page that your client would see when they log in. At the top of the client menu would be the facilities for your clients to change their passwords or email addresses. Let's say that on sign up you've assigned them a temporary password. So you might tell them to go, and on the first login to your landing page or from your landing page, you would want your client to change her password to something more secure that she will remember to make that more secure. Lower down in the client menu we have all of the interview pages listed. When your client first logs in, this link that now says continue interview will actually say begin interview. So she would click on the begin interview link, and she would go to the very first page in the interview, and she'd begin to enter data here. And then the most efficient way to do that is to just enter the data that's requested and click on one of the two next buttons on each page. She would then navigate to the very next page, and in that fashion would continue page by page through the online interview. But let's say that she can't remember certain data that are requested, so she might save out of her interview and go and fetch that data, and then she would come back, log in, and she can navigate to the specific page that is perhaps missing data, and she can then go back to each page that doesn't have a check mark in the box here and complete that page. Then you'll notice that as she proceeds through the interview on perhaps a second or third session, the check boxes next to each of these interview pages will be populated, and she will have in that manner completed her interview. At that point, when all of the checkboxes are completed, she can either, by being on the very last page of the interview and clicking on the next button, or by clicking on the check interview link right there in her client menu, she will go to this page, which at the top here checks for completion of the interview. If the interview is not complete, it will inform her that it's not and where it is not. This section here checks time-critical issues. There are none in this particular case. And then in the third and final section on this page, it checks certain other critical issues, because we don't know at this point whether the client has completed the interview 10 seconds ago or 10 months ago. So we want to check these issues, and by placing a check mark in each box, she signifies that nothing has changed in any of these critical issues. She doesn't have to go back and edit any of the data, and she can simply click on Proceed to Attorney Document Review. She'll get that page. At this point, you would receive an email telling you that this client is ready to be moved ahead to the next step in your process, whatever that might be. It might be, for example, that you will now download documents the first batch of filing documents. You would proofread those, perhaps checking through the client's interview to see if you can determine if there are any apparent problems coming up that you can discuss with the client before proceeding to file the case. Okay, let's now go back to the top page, to the landing page, and there is a secret that is built into this page, and I'll show you now what that secret is. If you move your cursor over the footer, you'll see that it's a hidden link, and that if you click on that link, you will come not to the client login portal, but the lawyer login portal. And we will enter again here the Sandbox account user ID, but this time you'll be entering your secure lawyer password. What happens, you might be thinking, if someone stumbles upon this page by determining that hidden link is there and clicking through to the lawyer login page? Nothing happens, because that person, unless he or she is you, won't have your secure lawyer login password. So we're going to log in right now initially to the download dashboard for this client, and this is the section here where you would want to do batch downloading. We divide batches into the 3 that you see here, and you can select any batch and download that batch. We'll do that in just a moment, but I want to go across here and point out to you that you can open up your client's interview right here. You can then navigate to any page you select in that list, check the answer, change the answer, whatever the case may be, then navigate back to the download section. If you click on document downloads, you'll notice that you can not only do batch downloads here, first batch, second batch, third batch, just like over here, same thing, but you can also download individual documents from each batch. Let's demonstrate that by downloading this client's community property declaration from the first batch. A help box opens up. That's really simple. You can probably just click out of those and you will get a file ready to be downloaded to your machine, but can also be reviewed on your screen. And this PDF file includes 3 copies of your client's community property declaration, plus any attachments that you need perhaps to take a look at. You would do the single doc download, perhaps if you've tipped coffee or your dog has chewed up one individual doc that you don't need to do another complete batch download. But let's show the batch download. Let's do a third batch download in this case. Again, the help item opens up. You can close out of that. This is a Santa Clara case. You'll get local county documents in this PDF as well as the Judicial Council documents. All populated forms, all ready to be completed, all ready to be signed and dated by your client after you review and proofread those documents. Okay, one other thing I want to show you here, also under the document download section, and here's a tip on it over here, is the marital settlement agreement. Let's click on that. All of the Judicial Council and local county documents are downloaded in the very popular Adobe PDF file format, but the marital settlement agreement we want to be editable. So, of course, that is downloaded in the equally popular Microsoft Word format, which is right here, and which you can edit to suit your own requirements. Wherever you see red here, there are issues that need to be customized by you in order to complete the marital settlement agreement for the client's signature. Okay, let's come back out of here, and I want to show you now that there are two ways for you to navigate to your firm's control panel. You can either click directly on this link from the download dashboard, and that'll take you right to your control panel. I'm going to flash out of this right now, but I'll be coming back in just a moment. You can navigate back to the download, and we're going to log out of that, and then we're going to go back in from the attorney login. To the control panel. Now I'm going to concentrate on the control panel in the third video in this sequence, so I'm not going to spend too much time here, but basically just to point out a couple of things, maybe three things. Lower right is a list again of all of the interview pages, so you can navigate there and navigate back after you've changed or edited or checked information there. Down here at the bottom is a child support guideline what if calculator. You can see that in this case, based upon the parties' net monthly incomes and the percentages of primary physical custody, the guideline figure is computed as 562. That appears in both of these locations, but the lower location permits you to play what-if games here. Let's say that the respondent is going to be up for a wage increase, and your client asks you what happens when his net monthly goes up to $4,000. Well, you can see that the guideline is maintained, the old guideline is maintained up here, and that's still saved in the client account. But you'll see that in this section, which is not saved anywhere, and if you were to log out now and log back in, this entry would revert to the 562, but because you've changed the respondent's net monthly from whatever it was to 4,000, you can see what effect that has on the guideline amount. So you can play around with that on an unlimited basis. Upper right here, the third and final thing I want to show you in the control panel here is that clearly you can navigate here back to the lawyer login, navigate to the client login, or go back to the download dashboard. Or you can come over here and you can select the last X number or all of your firm's own cases, and you can display those on screen. Now, what you can see here is that this, Robert I. Powell obviously only has 8 dummy cases. These are fake cases, not real cases. We've used these from time to time to do various programming, debugging on the ODL platform. So you can see that the Wilson case is the only one that is anywhere near populated, but in your particular instance, depending on how far the client goes in his or her case, all of this data would be populated. The court would be in this column, client name obviously, user ID from newest to oldest, and the date the case was filed, case number, date that the court acquired jurisdiction, 31 days beyond that date for entry of default in a non-military respondent case, And then, of course, obviously when the case is finalized, date of entry of judgment and date of termination of marital status. You can call this up on your screen. You can populate a PDF that you can download. You might want to do that once a week. You can make case notes here. It's a good way to keep a running track of your existing cases on ODL. Remember, I told you on the top page of the ODL site, a divorce consumer can fill in that form and you would receive the lead. Well, here you can keep track of your leads. You can either call it up on your screen. These are all fake leads, of course, that I've entered from time to time. And you can see whatever message the divorce consumer has left for you at the time he or she sends the contact form to you. Or you can download that. Might be something you want to do every few days. You can keep your follow-up notes here just to keep track of where you are in bringing each particular lead on board as a paying client. Okay, let me see. I want to show you, I think, only one more thing. I'll exit the control panel back to the lawyer login page. You'll remember I showed you on the landing page as well as on the client login portal, you have hidden links to take you to this page, the lawyer login page. Well, guess what? You've got a hidden link on this page too, and you would know that it's here, of course, and you move to your lawyer login page, and then you click on the hidden link in the footer, and it takes you to the page that you would use each time you've signed up a divorce client. You would come to this page. This is you alone. The client would not see this. You would enter. I'll run through this and show you how it works. You would enter your secure lawyer login. You would assign perhaps a temporary password for your client. You would assign the client's email address. You would enter the client's email address, I should say. I'm going to enter my own personal email account. This box enables you to indicate whether this is going to be traditional full representation or perhaps pro se representation only for the purposes perhaps of providing a document review service only. It defaults to no. You can change it here. You can change it later in the case should the need arise. You click on create your client's account, and you'll see that the next user ID in sequence is this one here. You can see that the temporary password that I entered was password. This is the fake lawyer's email, so this would be your email address to which these credentials have just been sent. And additionally, this would be, remember, the client's password to which the account opening email has also been sent. And you'll see that that was notification to you. Cancel that. That is notification to the client that someone has accessed her account for security purposes. This is your copy of the account opening email, so you'd probably want to save these because it contains your client's user IDs, the temporary passwords assigned, and the date and time when the account was created. Additionally, you get notification of each time that the client logs into her account, you'll receive notification of that login. You'll also receive notification of the account login details. And I think that's about it. There are a number of emails that are forwarded both to the client and to yourself. Nothing goes to the client that does not go to you as well. So, thank you for watching this video. I've rambled on a little bit longer than I thought I would, but that is the pro level of service of Online Divorce Lawyer. Please check the basic level of service on the first video, and also look at the third video in the sequence, which is a more in-depth analysis of the control panel. Okay, thank you for watching.